How open is your mind? Because what you believe, what you authentically believe, not what you think or say you do, but what you genuinely believe is what your body responds to. If you don't believe that your power to change lies inside of you, referring to change in the mental stability or your life in general, your body will respond to where you do believe your power to transform lies. Think about the placebo effect. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's important. If the source of power to help you is outside of you, your body will wait for that source to transform whatever it is you want to change or heal. I was a science teacher at one point in my life at a school much like the school I went to when I moved to Central America as a 13-year-old. This school that I taught at was on a small Caribbean island off the coast of Central America. So 2 different schools, 2 different countries. Oh yeah, I have adventure stories to tell. But my goal in this moment is to help you realize that you have the power and freedom to create the life you want. I wouldn't be saying it if I hadn't have done it. Now, I have a lot to say about why mental illnesses, diagnosed and undiagnosed, treated and untreated, are so prevalent. Maybe I'll get to that at a later date, but this is just about you and your mental health. But I do want to address the problem as it affects our population at some point. Now, while I was a science teacher, I had to research and upgrade my lesson plans. My textbooks were really out of date. They were written in the year I was born. And so I had to research and correct the information. So, really, the textbooks were useless. I just had to look up the topics, learn them again, and include the new stuff as well, and then make my lesson plans and teach the classes. It's the most work I've ever done. I respect teachers no end. Well, did I ever get some new perspectives on the topic of energy? During all that research, I finally realized that everything truly is composed of energy, and managing my energy could possibly help me change my brain chemistry. Well, guess what? It worked. What are your core beliefs? Are they up to date? Because we all have a habit of clinging to old information that has already been proved wrong. It's old. I'm going to be very open about my core beliefs right now. Medications did not help my bipolar depression or panic attacks. Electroshock therapy made me worse. So do your medications help you? If they do, that's great. I'm not saying that all medications are bad, but the industry is for profit. What I'm saying is that, and I am saying it outright, the pharmaceutical industry doesn't profit if you get better. I have been on medications for 30 fucking years. That's a lot of money that I didn't really have to put towards something that did not help me. The meds are not meant to alleviate your depression, anxiety, or mental illnesses. They are meant to keep you buying the prescription every month. Now, that is just my personal thought and opinion. Remember, I am sticking to talking about the illnesses that are not complex. Depression, anxiety are basic and very common. That doesn't mean they're any less painful. I get that there are medications out there that save lives and that can help the body recover from critical illnesses. I went to school to be an EMT. I know about giving life-saving medications to people in crisis. But when it comes to mental illness, I'm not budging on this. And it's not a popular thing to say. A lot of people will disagree, and I don't give a fuck. They don't have to listen to me. I'm done trying to be appropriate. I repeat, I am still on medications, but it is not because they helped my mental illness. It is because if I do not take them, my body goes into withdrawals. That is a pain I am not willing to suffer. The meds had 30 years to do what they claimed that they could do, and they failed. When I studied up to teach the 7 science classes I had to teach, 7 different grades, so 7 levels of mostly the same material, I took on the information about energy, and I carried it with me. I sat on it for a long time. When I applied the knowledge I had relearned and the newest information, I used a type of energy transformation called transmutation. It's an alchemical term. This is what I'm going to be talking about: transforming and transmuting energy. So you can decide for yourself, and I understand if it's not for you. Teaching science, paying attention to other people's experiences, and remembering who the fuck I am is how I came to the conclusion that I had to do something different. And I am not alone. It took me a long time to decide that I had it in me to do the internal work. I will be explaining what the internal work has to do with energy transmutation, of course. Teaching science saved my life because that is how I came to understand, or more like remember, that everything is composed of energy. Even what we call matter is made up of energy. It is well established that energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Don't you remember that from science class in school? Or maybe you even studied a scientific field in college or grad school. All those layers I spoke of in the previous video, they wrap around you like the layers of an onion. They are energetic. When I realized all my anguish and grief and shame and the layers that held them could be transformed, as this all came to make sense to me, my life changed. I told everyone that cared and knew me, which was not many people, that I was going to, quote unquote, heal myself by managing my energy. They laughed and they made fun of me and they said all kinds of shit, especially behind my back to other people. None of those people are laughing anymore.